The lesson for today is calorimetry. We're going to go through the definition and then a couple of examples and then summary. Here it is, first core ideas. We have heat flows from hot to cold. You already know that, and it's just common sense. And energy lost by one substance must equal to energy gained by another. All right, we are using the heat equation mc delta T. Okay, well, C is the specific heat capacity. And then we are going to use this concept, which is right here, the same thing mathematically right here. All right, if they're the same, the hot energy plus the Q cold will end up being, when you add them up, must be equal to 0 because the heat lost must be equal to the heat gain. And then, of course, we can solve the final temperature or unknown mass based on the equation that we have and based on the information that we have. Okay, let's look at the first question. We have mixing hot metal with cold water, and we want to find the final temperature. We have 50-gram piece of metal at 95 degrees Celsius is placed into 100 grams of water at 22 degrees Celsius. Specific heat of metal is 0.45 joule per gram times Celsius, and then specific heat of water 4.18 joule per gram times Celsius. Find the final temperature. All right, we're going to use this idea of the heat lost by metal is equal to the heat gained by water, or we can say Q minus plus Q plus. This is the negative for heat loss and the energy is heat gain. When you add them up, you must get 0. Okay, that's what you must get according to the rule that we have. Now, each one of these, we have the formula that we have to use, which is Q equals to mc delta T. There is a delta T there. That means temperature before and after. So we have to solve that for each one of them. So we're going to go ahead and calculate the heat loss for metal first. Then we're going to calculate the heat gained by water using the same formula. Okay. And then we're going to add them, but there will be something that is missing, and that is the final temperature in both equations. T final here and T final there, we don't know. We need to solve for that. So let's go ahead and plug numbers in for each of these first. So we're going to start with the Q metal, and then we're going to deal with the water. So let's simplify this a little bit. That would be 22.5 times T final minus 95 degrees Celsius. Okay, I didn't put in all the units in there just for simplicity's sake, but at the end we must put the units in there for the final answer. All right, now that we got this one, let's go ahead. This was for the metal. Now let's deal with the water that is gaining. So let's put the heat equation for the water, mc delta T. So here is the equation. We don't know what the final temperature is, but when you simplify it, you get 418 and then multiply it by T final minus 22 degrees Celsius. Okay, now we have this equation right here and this equation right there. These two equations, they have to be equal to each other. That's what that is according to the law. All right, so let's set it up and let's go through it. So we have 22.5 times T final minus 95 degrees Celsius equals to 418 times T final minus 22 degrees Celsius. Now, another way of doing that is that you add these two, they must be equal to 0. But regardless of which one you do, you have to solve for T final, and you have T final on both sides of the equation. So let's go ahead and simplify each side. And we're using the distributive law in math, right, for each one of these ones, and then we collect like terms and then go from there. So we have 22.5 times TF minus 22.5 times 95, which is equal to 418 TF minus 418 times 22. okay? And be aware of the negative and positive. Now we're going to bring everything together. We're going to collect the TF's terms together and then move the numbers to the other side, and we're going to polish this. When you simplify this, you will end up getting this equation. This is the last piece that you get, and then you have to divide both sides by 440.5, 440.5, and that's the reason that you're doing that is because you have to isolate the T final. Okay, it's right here, that's T final, and your T final will be 25.7 degrees. All right, so that's how you do this question. The first thing that you have to set up, we set up the heat loss equation for the metal. We have the heat gain equation for the water, and we have to either add them to get zero or you equate them. That means make them equal to each other and then solve. And in each case, you're going to go ahead and figure out what is it that is given to you. We may want to write what is given to us just that you know. That's M metal given to us 50.0 gram, and we have T initial for metal is 95 degrees, and then we have the mass of the water is 100.0 gram, and T initial of water is 22 degrees Celsius. We also have the specific heat capacity for each one, and we can write it up. Okay, so that's what we did. We went through each one, we used the heat equation and set it equal to each other, and that's what we got. All right, let's look at the next example now. All right, this example 2, finding unknown mass using calorimetry. A hot metal at 150 degrees Celsius is placed into 200 grams of water at 220 degrees Celsius. Final temperature is 28 degrees. Specific heat capacity of metal is 0.9 joule per gram times Celsius. Find the mass of the metal. Excellent. So we're just going to use the heat equation again in this case, just like before, and same equation that we have used before for each one. We have to find the mass of the metal. Now, what are the things we do know? We do know the temperature, so Ti for a metal 150 degrees. The Ti for the water is 20 degrees. T final for the entire thing is 28 degrees Celsius. That's water and metal. And so mass of the water, we want to have the mass of the metal. That we don't know. Okay, so let's go ahead and find the heat gained by the water. So we have, let's find out for Q water, what is that? That's 200 gram, and you multiply it by 4.18. That's a specific heat capacity of water, by the way, and times delta T, and delta T is 28 degrees minus 20 degrees. Okay, that's for the water. That's the gain for the water. And when we do the math in here, you will get 6,688 joules. Okay, that's the heat gain by the water. And now we're going to deal with the loss, the heat loss by the metal. What is that? We're going to write up the mass, which is we don't know, but we do know that the specific heat capacity of that is, you multiply that by 0.90. I'm going to remove the unit right now, and then you multiply it by the temperature differential. That would be T final minus T initial. That's 28 degrees minus 150 degrees. Okay, that's what we will have. Now we're gonna go ahead and polish this. So when you rewrite this, the mass we don't know, but we do know that that is times 0.90, and then here we get negative 122 degrees Celsius. Okay, and then we do the math. What we'll get here, because it's a multiplication, you get m times negative 109.8. Okay, now here's the thing. This Q of a metal must be the same as the water. The heat lost by metal must be equal to the heat gained by water. So we have to set this equal to the the Q of the metal. So here, this is very important. Remember, QW, which is gained, must equal to Q lost of the metal. That's how it is. So now, and if that's the case, then we have to say that this QW is the heat gain. Well, the value here is negative, right here that we have. So we have to say is that's equal to the loss of 6,688 joules is equal to negative 109.8 m. Okay, and this negative and negative obviously makes it positive, and then you just go through and divide both sides by the coefficient of m, and you will get 60.9 gram. Okay, that is what you need to do. Just be aware that whenever you equate the heat gain against the heat loss, then you have to make sure that you are using the proper sign. Okay, so the heat loss is negative, heat gain is positive, but when you set them equal to each other, both signs either have to be positive or negative because the energy amount is the same. All right, not the loss or gain, but the energy amount is the same. Okay. Let's put them together now. About this lesson, important notes to not forget common mistakes. So heat lost is equal to heat gain always, or heat loss plus heat gain must be equal to 0. The total heat must be 0. Have to balance each other out. That's the heat balance equation. Hot object always has negative Q. The way I write it is Q negative like that, and then this one is Q positive like that when you have cold objects, and then final temperature must be between the two starting temperature, obviously. That makes sense. And then we are using the 𝑚𝑐Δ𝑇, the heat equation for each substance separately, and then we are going to go through and set them equal to each other, or when you add them, they must equal to 0. All right, check out the quiz in the description below and make sure you come back for the next lesson in this series, which will be enthalpy. All right, until next time.